everyone, this is Eliza. Welcome back to Eliza's Bookshelf. Today I'm finally getting into my tags. So I've been a lot behind and I just realized everything was building up. But this is the This or That tag romance edition, and I was tagged by Daphne, one of my besties here on BookTube. I'll link her channel down below. Feel free to join along if you haven't done it already. So number one is Cliffhangers or Happily Ever Afters. In romance books, I love Happily Ever Afters. I do not want any cliffhangers in my book unless it is a romance fantasy. So romance fantasy is a subgenre of romance that I really like, and so for those I don't mind cliffhangers, but I do prefer if the series has been out and so I can jump into the next one. So I guess you can say I don't like cliffhangers. Yes, I'll go with Happily Ever After on this one. Okay, number two, hardcover or paperbacks. So with romance books, I actually do like paperbacks. I don't know why. It's probably because I just like lounging in my bed and reading romance books. Yeah, so Christina Lauren and a couple of other authors, I think maybe, I don't know, Emily Henry still comes out with the paperbacks, but I know Christina Lauren has been coming out with the hardback covers first, and I'm always like, you know what, maybe I'll wait until the paperback comes out. But as the release date comes near, I'm like, I really need the book right now, so I order the hardcover anyways. And so I don't have paperback for some of their books, and it makes me sad. Maybe like, which one is it? The Soulmate Equation, Wilder Things. So those I have hardcovers, and it doesn't really match my paperbacks, but that's okay. I do like the hardcovers actually. They're really pretty. But yeah, I prefer a paperback. Number two, angsty or cutesy. I prefer a blend of both. I love rom-coms that get super like emotional and angsty and makes me feel certain things. So I'm gonna say both there. I can't really decide. Let's see. Maybe a little bit more on the cutesy side, but I love both. I love the angst, but I need it to be cute and not super depressing. So number four, emotional or rom-com. Gosh, this is hard. I like a mix of both too. I guess it depends on what I'm in the mood for. Recently, I've been reading a lot more of rom-com books, but I do like emotional books like All Your Perfects by Colleen Hoover. What else? I guess that's it. I mean, it's just a lot of Colleen Hoover. I guess you can say I like the rom-coms more. I love Emily Henry. I love Abby Jimenez. I think those are more on the rom-com side versus emotional. So I'm gonna say rom-com for that one. Let's just be decisive here, Eliza. Number five, series or standalones. For romance books, I like series. No, sorry. What am I saying? Standalone. So for romance books, I like standalones unless they are romance fantasy, then I prefer the series because I do want to follow them on and on. So I read The Graceling recently by Kristen, I forgot, by someone. I read it with Daphne and Kaylee, and it's a series, but each book kind of follows like a different couple. And so for that one, the first one, I really wanted to know what happened with the couple afterwards, but I don't think you follow them. And I'm just like, what else do they do? What else do they get into, you know? So for fantasy romance, I think I like it to be a series. But for rom-coms and things like that, I like it to be standalones. BookTok or Bookstagram. I'm not really on BookTok. I have a BookTok account, but I'm not really on BookTok. So I'll definitely choose Bookstagram there. I had another Bookstagram years ago, but it got hacked. I've been using Bookstagram for a long time, and I recently made a new one this year. But yeah, Bookstagram. Short answer, Bookstagram. Number seven, people or objects. Oh, on covers. I was like, what does this mean? Okay, so number seven, people or objects on book covers. I'm gonna say I like people, but I like cartoony people. I honestly don't mind, but I think the cartoony people look really cute. And it tells you more about how the people, sometimes it gives like a personality of those people on the cover, right? But sometimes the book covers just look a little bit alike nowadays. So it'd be nice to find something new. I don't like the book covers with people like the male models just showing abs and stuff like that. I don't like that because it's not as discreet and I can't bring it places. But recently a lot of romance books have been more cutesy and whatever. There's a book over there that I kind of want to give you an example of that's really nice, but I'm too lazy to get up. Oh well. New releases or backlist books. I've been really sucked into like the new releases, but I have a lot of backlist books that I need to get to. A lot of them are on my downstairs bookshelf. It's just like a row of backlist romance books that I really need to get into. So I need to read that before moving on, but I really get sucked into all the new releases. So I'm gonna say new releases for that one, even though I have to read my books. Number 9, TBR or free for all. So I know a lot of people are like, you know, what's the point of TBR for themselves? And I still do a TBR list, but really I am a big mood reader. Yeah, it's a free for all for me, but I still set up a TBR because every month at the beginning of the month, I just browse my bookshelves and I'm like, what book do I feel like reading now? But throughout the full month, I do change moods too. So I definitely am a mood reader and I pick up other things. I just still like doing that TBR because it's like a shopping. It's like focusing on a little shelf of books instead of my whole shelf, if you know what I mean. But anyways, okay, number 10, open door or fade to black. So if you guys don't know, open door is when it's more descriptive with like the sexual scenes, and fade to black is when they start, you know, kissing, making out, and then closed door, whatever, right? I know a lot of people like closed door romances and they prefer that, and that's fine. I think there's a lot of cute closed door romances. Recently I read When in Rome by Sarah Adams, and that's closed door, and I loved it. It's one of my favorites this year. So I don't mind either way. I think open door I prefer though, because I want to see all the juicy stuff. Number 11, audiobooks or ebooks / paperbacks or hardbacks too, I'm assuming. For romance, I like reading it myself because sometimes the audiobook narrator kind of gets in the way of things and I don't like the way they say certain stuff. So I'm going to choose like the physical or ebook for that one. Number 12, Kindle or not. I love Kindle. I have my Kindle here somewhere. I've been getting a lot of my NetGalley ARCs and like just sending it to my Kindle. My husband got it for me last Christmas and I've been using it a lot. It really gets me through books quicker because I'm just like, you know, flipping the page one by one. If I read on my app on my phone, I get really distracted by people texting me or like Instagram, whatever, YouTube. I get really distracted. And so I may be reading a chapter and then doing things for another hour. So I really like the Kindle because it makes me focus. So I'm going to say yay for that one. Number 13, matte or glossy cover, I'm assuming. I love matte covers. Glossy is fine, but it's something about like the texture and the smoothness of matte covers. So matte. Number 14, buddy read or solo. I like doing a bit of both. I do a lot of like buddy reads with my sister or my friend from college, and I've been getting into a lot of buddy reads with Daphne and Kaylee, so that's been super fun. But I do read a couple of other books too on my own, and I think that's fine. I like both. I'm gonna say both for that one. Number 15, small town or dark romance. I think I like small town romances a lot more than dark romances. Dark romances are just a little bit too serious and dark for me. I need more of that fluffiness, and you find that more in like the small town romances. So yeah, small town for me. Number 16, a new adult or adult. I think right now I'm getting more into the adult romances, but new adult I definitely got into initially. I liked Wait for You by Jennifer L. Armentrout. I like the Off Campus series by Elle Kennedy. So those are new adult, I believe. And I definitely got into that first, and that's what got me into the romance genre. But I think nowadays I'm reading more adult romance. Let's see. Number 17, sprint read or marathon read a series. I don't really know the difference. I think Daphne said she didn't really know the difference either. I looked it up, and I think sprint reads is like you set aside an amount of time, like 20, 30 minutes or an hour during a day that you just read continuously. I think that's what a sprint read is. Marathon read is just like you read through all of them. So for me, I think marathon reading. I don't know. I don't really know the answer to that, namely because I don't know what it means. Couple more questions here. Number 18, read multiple books at once or one at a time. If I'm going only with romance books, I read one at a time. So that's the answer to this or that romance edition. Going further, I typically do read multiple books at a time. I read one romance, I read like a mystery, thriller book, and then I read like a fantasy book because they are separate genres and I am able to separate them a little bit easier. For example, right now I'm reading, what am I reading? I'm reading The Stardust Thief. That is a fantasy book. I'm reading, or I'm going to start Carrie Soto is Back or Strikes Back. Yeah. No, I think it's called Carrie Soto is Back by, what's her name? Taylor Jenkins Reid. And that is more of like a fiction book, contemporary fiction. I don't know, historical fiction. I don't know what it is, but it is not the genre of fantasy. So it's easier for me to kind of keep them apart. And what is my romance right now? I guess I don't have a romance right now. I thought, oh, I know. There were some that NetGalley sent to me without me requesting. They're like, you probably would like this book. And one of them I read the synopsis of and I actually think I would like, so I'm going to give that a try. So those are the 3 books that I'm going to be into now. So yeah, multiple books at once. If we're talking romance, then one at a time, because then I can't really like separate the two. Number 19, Alpha Hero or Cinnamon Roll Hero. Cinnamon Roll Hero all the way. I really like when someone is super nice and fluffy and just all for like the significant other. I don't really like Alpha Hero too much. I like them in the fact that they would do anything to save the person, but like outside of that, sometimes they're kind of a jerk. So if I were to pick, Cinnamon Roll. Okay. Number 20, Batty or Damsel in Distress Heroine. I like the Batty heroine. I don't really like the Damsel in Distress type of heroine. I don't think I've read a lot of those, so who knows. Number 21, Slow Burn or Instalove. I love the slow burn type of romance. I love it when they develop a relationship and, you know, slowly fall in love, and then you get like the payoff at the end. I do not like instant love. I do not. I don't think it really happens in real life. No, I'm just kidding. I'm sure it happens in real life, but I don't really see it, you know? So I don't really feel like it's realistic. Recently I read, what was it? My Killer Vacation by Tessa Bailey, and that was super insta-love. It's super smutty insta-love. And it was kind of a short read, so I think that's why she just went way into there right away, but that is insta-love. That's an example of a book that I don't like and a trope that I don't like. So yeah. So those are the 21 questions of this or that romance edition. Thank you again, Daphne, for tagging me. Thanks again for joining me. I have to catch up with my tags. I think there's a couple more that like the Bandana Book Mom tagged me in and Tatiana from Reading with Tatiana tagged me in. So I'll have to catch up. But yes, this is the romance edition, this or that. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.